Facebook was disputed on why copies of the live video show the New Zealand masjid shootings remained on the internet. Meantime, YouTube was outlined as a cesspool of neo-Nazi substance. All three told they were increasing policies and technique, and growing the quantity of human beings work to shoot Loathe speaking of their platforms. But MPs seemed unimpressed. In several proverb the firms were lack to transactions in the question, in spite reiterated assurances how their system were increasing. It seems to me how period, and once again you are just not compliance up in the scope of the issue, told armchair Yvette Cooper. Labour MP Stephen Valiant told he was fed up in the absence of advance on Loathe speaking. Management team of the three platforms were requested if they were vigorously dividing data on those wiring bomber promotion in police force. All three told they did, while down there was an inevitable risk to lifetime but not differently. Labour MP Ms Cooper outdoor the investigation by request reason, on to accountable in the New Zealand print. Several copies of the live video show the masjid shootings in Christchurch yet remained on Facebook, Facebook-owned Instagram and YouTube. Facebook's chief of social politics, Neil Potts, said the live video was a new kind how our car training framework hadn't seen up. It was a at first man marksman in a GoPro on his chief. If it was a tertiary man live video, we would include scene how up. The is sadly an hostile area. Those dividing the live video were intentionally splice and cut it and with filters to overthrow automate. Down there is yet advance to be done in car training. Marco Pensini, CEO of social politics at YouTube, told, we requirement to honor the judgment. But sounding of civilian community are increased concerns on the capacity to know which is event and to talk if public print is locked. Facebook repeated how it had devoted teams work in various languages about the planet to transactions in substance temperance. We sense it is superior to include an outdoor web since it is superior to a where if who is secure, told Mr. Potts. Yet we stake the concerns of the Sri Lankan by the government and we honor and know how. I can discover web page following web page with extremely unpleasant tongue. Obviously the system aren't work, he told. He charged all three firms of no making your jobs. MPs seemed to be very disappointed, in several proverb how concerns had been grown on particular accounts often, and yet they yet remained on all platforms. If you include a profound connection to Loathe, we shoot you, told Mr. Potts. So you obviously don't, Mr. Potts, replied Mr. Valiant. Description YouTube as a cesspool of white supremacist content. Mr. Valiant told, connection following connection following connection. The is incomplete type. We requirement to see in the substance, told Mr. Pensini. It is completely an essential question. He was requested if YouTube's algorithms assign distant right substance, though to users who did not wish to see it. Suggested videos is a helpful characteristic if you are looking for piece of music, but the problem for speaking is how it is a various dynamical. We are work to contribute reputable substance and do certainly contentious and unpleasant substance has less than appearance, he told. He was compressed on why the algorithms were not modified. It is a really nice issue but it is not so dark and whites. We requirement to discover ways to enhance quality assurance of results of the algo, Mr. Pensini told. Ms. Cooper requested Mr. Pensini why she individually was creature suggested more excess substance while she sought on YouTube. This reasoning is relying on customer behavior, he replied. I'm aware of the challenges the raises while it comes to policy speaking. I'm not there to protect the kind of substance. She seemed especially disappointed how she had requested the identical questions to YouTube 18 months ago and yet she felt anything had modified since she was yet visioned the identical substance.